Right guys, update. Back on with the engine, you can see the exhaust pipes on, the megaphone silencer's on, that's not holding it up. You might be able to hear in the background that I've been listening to Alan Millyard. I just thought I'd include it in my video. Here you go, this is what I get up to on a daily basis. Just have YouTube playing. Currently listening to Alan strip down that Norton V4 V8. I'll pause him because he's talking over us. Alan, be quiet. I'll do us some focus as well. Let's get us some focus on. There we go. So yeah, but that's what I've been doing today. I've been brazing that up. I did it yesterday. Put all that on, tacked it all up yesterday. Come in, just did a quick braze this morning. Then I've been back studying photographs. Most of the day is gone. And all I've been doing is studying these photographs and then going and having a look at the bike. I've been bending bits of wire. Mainly the next thing is we need to do this crash guard. I don't know what it is. It's maybe like to stop it from picking up leaves or muck, or I don't really know, because I don't think that is going to protect the pipe very much. And on the other side, mainly you'd have something like this. You do that looks like it's about 12mm. But if you did that out of inch, twice as big, you could have that then as a bash guard. And they used to sometimes put them on, like on the bottom of a Fantic frame, you'd have a loop welded there, just to protect the casings. So you just put a little bump on side of the frame, just a little hoop, just to protect the casings, stop them getting whacked on rocks. But that's not going to do that. I think it's more like a leaf clearer. So yeah, I've been studying that. I've mocked up some wire here, have that on the bike. I think that should work. Interesting thing about that Norton Nemesis, I seen it in real life. Rosendale Bike Show when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was about 12, 13 probably. Definitely after Dad died, because Dad weren't there. We'd gone down with a load of mates to Rosendale Bike Show, which is like 10 minutes down the road. We're in Rosendale now. But yeah, other end of the valley. It was down there. I remember seeing it in real life, thinking, the only thing I remember about that was, I remember seeing it on paddock stands, and they used that big hole that goes through its swing arm. They pretty much just put a scaffold bar through that, and then they'd made a stand for the scaffold bar to sit on. And it was good because your front wheel's got the same big hole in it as the swing arm is. So they just jacked it up, had it on two stands, and pretty much like a piece of scaffold through its swing arm, one for its front wheel. Since I've been here, since I've been doing this job, I've obviously learnt a lot about what Grandad and Dad used to do. And I've had, like, everyone that comes in's got a tale. One of the guys, one of my dad's best mates, I'll try and find you a picture of him, called Carrot, he's got ginger hair. He's over here. Let's go and find him. That's Carrot there in middle. That's my dad on right, my uncle Chris on left. So my dad with red hat on. Where are they there? They're all at Alton Park, because that picture we're taking on the same day. That's Carrot's motorbike, brand new from Robinson's in Rochdale, that Yami 750. Dad's bike, he took that Air Mackie, Tri-Mackie, to test it, I think. It was test day, and he took that down there and he blew it up. So Carrot had come down on his brand new bike, so Dad asked if he could take it out for a few laps. So he went round on that. Anyway, Carrot, he lives down in Rochdale. That Norton Nemesis were built in Rochdale by Frank Mellin. TVR. Frank Mellin were designing TVR engines. He had a go at building that Norton Nemesis. And apparently, it's not been in here, but it nearly did. It nearly made its way here. Because Carrot, good mates with my dad, one of my dad's good mates from college. They went to college together, went engineering college down in Rochdale, both into bikes. Carrot were doing engine work on it, and basically they come up here and asked Dad whether Dad and Grandad wanted to do pipes on it. I spoke to Grandad about it, and Grandad said, "Oh, knobhead him, absolute knobhead." I don't know if he's still alive, that Frank Miller. He's probably not. It's probably long gone. But I know my Grandad said if he ever asks you to do any work, tell him no. He's just said he's just a dick. So they didn't do the pipes on it, and then I've been on Facebook this morning, and Alan Millyard's in Motorcycle News, and one of the comments underneath said that manifold on that Norton Nemesis is an absolute mess. So I thought I'd better go and have a look at it, see what it looked like, because I know that we didn't do it, so we got lucky there, because if we had done it and then the people were calling it a mess, yeah, would have been a mess. I think there were some other bits, like they'd have to make framework, a bit of fab work, but oh, what a mess that bike is. I've just been watching a thing now with water jacket on it, and they built it all like box section. Just a mess, man. Just an absolute mess. And the pipes were as well. I reckon they've been done in-house. They've like bought bits of bend and then done that with it. Like, all horrible. Really horrible stuff. All horrible, that bike. It was nice at the time. When I was a kid, that's like, I've always been into concept bikes. Mainly that's what I did at uni. I did design at uni, car design. And I've always been into concept bikes since I was a kid. When my dad used to get Motorcycle News and he'd show out bikes that would maybe come out, like the Tokyo show or something like that. And it's short bikes that might come out in the next 10 years. Used to love them. It was like looking into the future, weren't it? And that, when I seen that as a kid, I loved it. But now you see it now, you just think, my God, that were a mess, weren't it? So yeah, so I've been listening to them. Alan, thanks for sending us any exhaust pipes that you send me. I don't think I've done any yet, but yeah, I had a guy on recently said, oh, I've been talking to them guys at Shed and Buried. They said, come see you. So yeah, cheers for that, Alan. Might tag you, but you don't need any help here. So yeah, I'm on with this. We're going to do now. I'm going to probably set camera up. We're only 6 minutes in. I thought I'd just show you a quick one. So the guy put on here on his notes. Let's spin it back round for this guard. Is it going to be on first page? That on first page. If you see, he's put 10 milli rod. 10 milli rod. Some sort of bash plate. There is a bash. There might be a bash plate underneath that, but we're going to come back to that when we're on tip frame. 10 milli rod to engine plates and to bash plate. What it does, it's coming off end at peg there, and it's dipping down. And that's not correct. It's not quite like that, I don't think. But this dip down's right in it, I think. There's another good view of it somewhere. So you need the 3/4 view now to get the angles right. So you can see it on there. It's that piece of rod. It's coming off end at pegs. 10 mil. We decided yesterday that 10 mil weren't big enough. Everything's some 10 milli tube. So we're opting for 12 milli tube. Luckily I've got loads of 12 milli tube, so we're going to use 12 milli tube. I also have a tool for flattening out the end, so we'll come back to that at a later stage. But this is probably your best view of it. So it comes off the engine mount there, and then it's bending backwards and flaring up at the same time to flatten it out. And then look at the other side. The other side's proper. It's got a twist in it. So I'm actually thinking now that this bend here, it looks flat, but I think it's been twisted on its side. So that's what you're seeing on that side. So I'm going to have a go at that. I've made a bigger bend like this, and we're going to do it from there. We're going to start the bend about here and hook it up and round, and then just flatten it off, which is this little wire template that I've made here on bike. And because that's a massive bend, I think I should be able to do it without packing it with sand. I've bent baggage racks and mudguard stays this way, and I know you could probably put that bend in it without any sand in it. I have some formers I have a former that'll do that type bend, but I don't have a former that'll do small bend. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get gas torch out, my little welding torch, and we're just going to eke that round. So we'll probably set you up here and get me tripod out. Catch my breath again. Stop talking so fast. Get the tripod out, put it there. Just see how this bends. We'll try it on. Shame there's not a pause button on this. There's a pause button on your phone, isn't there? If you want to pause it, set it up, press play again, so I don't have to edit it together. But yeah, I'll stop it. We'll start it again. I'll have to slice some bits of video together. It won't be nothing fancy. I'll be back in a second. Right, guys, we're back in. Basically, it's one of them. I just sang to myself, do you see what I see? Basically, we need to tip you down, get you looking at that. That's what we're going to get on. I'm going to get my torch out. Welding torch. Basically, we don't need no big gas torch for this. We just need a little bit of heat. You won't be able to see me, but you'll be able to see that. So we're going to get that. We're going to get the wire pattern. We're just basically going to try and put that big bend in. And then I'm not going to fit it to the bike because I've turned gas off. Basically, I'll just do it and then get customer to come down and have a look at it. You can have a look at pipe then, make sure that's all in the right place. And we can check this before I bend the one on the other side. I think this should be right though. So, just a case of gently all the way around this now, I think. Probably don't want to start there. Probably start about there. I've got a load of length on it though. I could start it. Let's start it there. Got to do this with a welding torch because it just bends so fast because you've got no sand in there. It'll just all go at once if you do it wrong. Good way to learn how to sand bend though. Anything like this, any bending using heat, using tube. It all helps for that sand bending. Still getting people asking me how to sand bend. Just gotta keep having a go at it. See, I've got about 6 lengths of this tube, so I can muck this up if I needed to and have another go. So just thought, yeah, let's have a go. Only one way to find out, isn't there? I once had some old boy say to me, it's only metal. Just cut it off and start again, which is very, very, very true. And that old boy wasn't me granddad, it was some other, it might have been a customer or something. I think it might have been a guy I seen at a bike show somewhere. And I said that's what I was doing, I was starting exhaust pipes, and he was like, well, one bit of advice, don't worry about it too much, don't be scared of it. It's not wood, you're not going to muck it up. But yeah, with this sand bending, this isn't sand bending, is it? This is just bending. You just need a good eye for a curve, I think. Do you see what I see? Is that even the right words for that song? I'm sure it is. So we get in there, just a bit short of 90. It needs to be a 90, but I've still got a fair bit of length left. A good idea would be to probably now to copy that bend onto another piece of tube, and then I've got 2 of them so they're identical on either side, that big bend is, which I might do. I might cut another length of this tube off and just have another go at one before I put the second, because that next bend's going to make it handed. You'll either be left hand or right hand. These 2 bends will be the same to start off with, but one needs to kick up and one needs to kick down. So I've got a fair big bend on there. Still needs a bit more. That would not protect you against any rocks, I am fair certain of it. And it wouldn't even hold pegs up neither. One of my ideas was like it probably hold the pegs up. It would if it were an inch tube. It'd stiffen pegs up, but that's not going to stiffen pegs up, I don't think. They're basically just, that's the tube that you use for a baggage rack or for holding a mudguard on. Not for, you need a lot of this tube as well to hold a bag rack on. You're not just doing one piece of tube, you have bits of it going all over, sure, don't you? So yeah, you'll hold a mudguard up, it won't hold your foot pegs up, I don't think, and it won't stop rocks from bashing. Right, we're there, pretty much. That's a nice big 90. Done by hand. Right, so we'll have a quick look at that, because we're probably at our time limit now, trying to keep to that 15. Don't know why I'm trying to keep to the 15, it just keeps them short and sweet, keeps it a day's worth. You're having a quick float rank workshop there, right, zoomed in, wow, zoomed out. Right, back on. Right, let's have a quick look at this. So that's what we've got, nice big 90-degree bend. I'll get my wire, if I can get my thumb out the camera, we'll get my wire out now. Have a quick look over the top of that. So that's my wire pattern. And my wire pattern's not bent as nice as the tube has. The tube's bent nicer. And then we've got that flick up. One's needs to be flicked up like that, and then the other one will need the same angle flicked down, which is like that. Just to bring it right with pegs. Hold on, get that sat level. It's quite a big kit. And see how like that were fair hard just to put that big bend in. That might be fair hard to put that next bend in. I don't know whether to try and get my tube bender out and have a go at tube bending it, because I have got, yeah, it might be easier that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. I'm going to cut a bit of tube off. Going to copy it. We're going to have 2 of them. Then I might get me a little macro bender thing out, micro bender. Maybe just put that in. It's basically just a little conduit bender, mini conduit bender. Might just be able to put that on there. Good thing about that is I can set a stop on it so we can make both bends exactly the same. But yeah, for now, just cut another one of them off. We'll stop this video, cut another one of them off. I'll have a go and bend in another one, maybe get the macro bender out, do a little bend, finish them off. Then we've got tomorrow's video then, haven't we? We'll have a look, see what they look like on the bike. So yeah, I'll do that, I'll be back in a sec. Right guys, we're back on. I've got 2 of these now bent up, looking identical. They're a little bit different. As you can see there, that's the bottom pipe. You can just see the bottom tube below the top tube, which means the bottom tube's less tight at that point, probably tighter at that point. But yeah, it won't matter because they're on 2 different sides of the bike, so you'll never ever see the difference between them 2. Close enough, they're close enough. And now we've got out my little amazing tool. I got this during lockdown. They're always a local buy that because it's an heavy box, so I had to go and pick it up in van. But it's a full set of formers for bending small tubes. So it's basically a little mini conduit bender. That's the arm off it. That's the base plate. They're the formers. In comparisons, I've got all the guides there. In comparisons to that, I don't know if my other one's upstairs or here on bench. Look, this is a full size one. Yeah, I think you can. I've actually got, yeah, I'm going to say I think you can get bigger, but I've got a massive one upstairs. So that's the same thing, but like 10 times the size. And then I've got one twice as big as that upstairs. That's probably like goes from there to there for bending massive pieces of pipe. Probably bending like 2 inch, 3 inch. I don't know how you would ever work it. I've had a go with it and I just thought, nah, that tube's too hard to bend. I think you need a lever like the size of room to bend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that out. I'm going to set it up in vise. Just going to pull these bits of tube out, set it out in vise. I'll get that on show for you. Find the right former, find the right followers, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll try and put that second bend in. It's going to be a bit close to stop, but we'll just have to fudge it. Maybe have to move the bend a bit further back. Basically it wants to bend there, and I don't know if there'll be enough straight to grab hold of it. Might have to move the bend a little bit further along, but we can. It'll just be less of an angle. If you put the bend there, it'll be tight angle. If you put it a bit further down, I think it'll be a bit of a less of an angle. So I'll put you up on here. I might as well just put that, film it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Film me getting it out of the box and setting it up. But you're not going to get much of a view there. But if we do that, we get a bit of focus on. Yeah, and have a go. So yeah, they're cool now. Get them 2, put them there. Start getting this out. Basically, that's got 2 little stoppers on the bottom of it. You can get that, put that in vise. It's a Type K 1A, this. I'm guessing the Type K is probably this style of former, or this style of base, and then a 1A is probably the smallest you can get. I don't know what size the other one is. I might go and have a quick look and come back. But yeah, then we just take these off the fingers, try and find a former that fits that tube. Which is that. Some of these are all made, or they've got formers off different tools, and then they've welded a little stop on back of it, a little block on back. It goes together a bit different than that. I might need to move that as well, so I need to get the arm on. Basically the arm and the former go together like that once you wind that out. Don't know what you can see again there. I don't know, it's one of them when I say, can you see what I see, but I've not got the finger turn round, so yeah, you're getting a bit of a look. Yeah, I need to put the arm and the former together and then slip it over the top of them 2 pins. So I'll get you a bit more up there. So, and I might, like I say, there's a little stop here to stop it from turning round. I might need to do that. It's hidden by a pin. I can see what you can see now. On that pin's got a bend in it, hasn't it? I noticed that before. It's this one's got a bend in it. There we go. So put that over there, put that over there. Spin that until it'll drop. Come on, you pile of shit. There's me praising it, and then not. Basically, I've probably bent something too big on it, and it's bent it or previous owner has. Then it just wants one of them on top of that. Well, something along them lines. That maybe that one. Sling that nut. No, it's not that nut. It's a different nut. It's the nut I took off to start off with. That one on the top of there. That'll hold all that together. Oh, I've missed one. I've missed one. It needs this back stop on it. We need to take that off. That. Ah, yeah, come on, you pain. That goes on there first. That's to put the stop on. And then that goes on. Then that goes on. Then that goes on. Then in there sits your little that stops the tube from sliding through. Probably wants to go and hold back. And basically that should fit in there now. And you got that as your stopper. So it'll want, I'm going to set you up a bit further away. Let's put you over there. Oh, sorry, bang your head. Bang your head up there through. Knock the megaphone over. I think, oh, your battery's going to run low. I mean, your battery is running low. So I think it'll want to be like that. Sat up vertically, then we just put a bend on. I need to mark them 2 things out. I need to get them sorted. So while your battery's running low, I might just pause you, do a few measurements, work out the angles, all that kind of stuff. I'll just stop you while you've got like 1% battery left there. So just stop it, see if it'll pick it back up afterwards. Just show you bending it. It's not going to be that exciting. So yeah, I'll have a working out, save a little bit of battery, put battery back on charge before I go home. Post this up later. I'll post it up in the morning before I come in. Right, I'll be back. Right guys, I've marked that out. I've basically put a mark here that's going to line up with the backstop. That it shouldn't move from there, it might move a little bit. Then I've transferred that over onto the other one, because the other one will have to be bent downwards, which I'm running out of room with my vice and all that kind of stuff. It would have been nice if I could put the bend out the back there, but then I can't bend it downwards because everything will be in way, so basically having to bend it up, which means that the guide doesn't quite, rams in with bend. But yeah, I'm gonna have a go. I've got my little wire here. I can always bend the nut. Like I say, I've got a load of tube, so basically I just need to put that much angle on it, which what I'll do is I'll bend it round to that, then I'll set the stop, so when I bend the other one it should come out the same. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this should work. It's tight to bend. A lot of twisting force going on in all that. That looks about right though. It's not far off. Just bracket eye in it. Oh, a little bit further. It looks like a little bit further. and we'll be on. So just that, then yeah, that's the one. So what I need to do there now, tighten that stop up underneath, move the stop round so it's butted up to the arm underneath, which means like just leaving a little bit of pressure on that, and then trying to find where the spanner was that I've just bloody used. Where have I put that? That's in this box, it's in this box. So then tighten up that nut on bottom, so that the next time, when I do the next one now, it should stop in the same place and we'll put the same angle on. He says, right, do one with it downwards so we've got left and a right hand. So what I've done there is put a right tight bend in it, which is, it were easier to do it on that than it was to do it by hand. It necks it, that's the only problem. Maybe I shouldn't have done it that way, but we'll see when it's on bike. That's going to be the only way of knowing that. Well, I've done it now, and I've done it, so it's, we'll just have to see. Yeah, it's probably a bit too tight, just because of the short angle that I've done it at as well. If that had been a bigger angle, you wouldn't have noticed it as much. It would have been a bigger bend. So I've got that set up, get that in line with it, get that in the same place, have that facing downwards. Right. So that should be exactly the same now. I know that's not your best video, but we've got that on there, so we should have two bends now. Get them lined up like that. That's one for one side, one for other side. Both same bend on its side. So they both slope down at the same angle now. So I was happy, we've actually got something there. Got something that we can use. Even if they're not the right bends, if he's not happy with them bends, at least we've got a pattern that we can use it again. They just look like they're a bit crumpled with that tube bender. It's nice if you want to do a 90, it's alright, but I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, we've got something that looks identical either way. You got them two angles, nicely done. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go try them on bike, which is behind us, still down there, not moved. And basically, I'm just going to mess about with them for the next hour. Like I say, you run out of battery. We've done a bit of bending. We've done a bit of brazing. I'm not showing you any brazing, but we have done a bit of bending. I'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have these trimmed up a little bit better and looking a bit more like bike, or a bit more like photographs. I need to squash one end of it, and then I need to find a little bracket for another end of it to weld it onto the frame, or to bolt it onto the frame, should say. We need a little flat plate bracket on that end, and we need to flatten that out like what you would do with a mudguard stay. So that end needs pressing flat. And then possibly going to weld a washer on it. Not decided yet, but that's the plan. So yeah, that's me for another day. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll come round there, I'll switch you off. Been nice speaking to you, nice seeing you. Adios, in a bit.